Chapter 8, The Future of Democracy, 70 years from now. In this chapter, you will experience democracy in pill form. Learn how America's growing ethnic diversity will enhance your takeout options. Angrily say aloud, "Future of democracy, how about some democracy right friggin' now?"
Blow it up! Damn you! God damn you all to hell!
Be so close to finishing the audiobook you can taste it.
The great experiment that is the United States of America has exceeded beyond the Founding Fathers' wildest expectations. Even the young nation's most optimistic thinkers estimated the Union would last no more than 30 to 50 years before being torn asunder by internal divisions, i.e. slavery, or external forces. After all, the British, French, Spanish, and the rest of the European continent couldn't go more than 12 years without a good war. But no, thanks to blessedly isolated geography, a can-do spirit, and an indigenous population with primitive weapons and surprisingly weak immune systems, the United States has experienced consistent growth and expansion over its entire history. But what of the future? Will this growth continue unabated, or will a new power arise and take America's place as heir to the throne of this island Earth? And if a new power does arise, will it make us drive smaller cars? Because right now a lot of SUV owners are in long-term leases, and it's kind of difficult to get out of those without paying some killer fees. Just putting that out there. Speculating about the future is a tricky business. Scientists, sociologists, and religious leaders all have their theories. They are all wrong. But in the interest of fairness, we will briefly present those theories to you now. Then after you've heard those, we will present to you the absolute truth about what will happen in the future. Be warned, however, if you skip ahead now and hear just that part, it won't come true. And it's really great. So unless you want the whole world, especially your children, to be mad at you, keep listening. Democracy's Future version 1.0. Robots everywhere. In this version of the future, our worst fears about America's increased reliance on technology at the expense of our fundamental humanity are realized. Our democracy will prove ill-equipped to combat the very tools we've created to sustain it. Power will inevitably be centralized in the hands of the very few, those who control the technology and their disproportionately attractive wives. And don't think we'll be able to send a robot back from the future to fix our problems or unplug from some vast computer grid to which we've been enslaved. Our overlords will have seen those movies too, and the dystopia of their creation will be far more original and horrible than anything concocted by Messrs. Cameron and Wachowski. In the techno-future, a typical election day will proceed as follows. Sedation will be necessary. Fluids, drawn from the spinal column and from beneath the brain's dura mater, will reveal the true intentions of the voter after automated biodemocratic analysis. If you survive the procedure, you'll then verify your vote by punching out holes in a card with a stylus. So much for the mechanics of voting. What of the health of our democracy itself? We are, after all, social creatures. But once technology supplants God and the institution of family, the idea of community will no longer bind us. We will be isolated in ways we could never have imagined, which isn't as bad as it sounds, since we will also no longer have the ability to imagine. While scattered pockets of religious folk and proud Bostonians will still exist here and there, America will exist only as a name on a much swampier map. The era of the superpower will end. Our national greatness will cease to be. On the bright side, Cialis wants you to know rock-hard 5-hour erections are only the beginning.